Hi everyone, this is Luxtos, and today I'm bringing you the brand new Paladin WeakAuras update. Yes, it is finally here. So we got the new design, PvP talent, clean mode, all of that new stuff for all three spec, Holy, Retribution, and Protection. So, if you're ready, let's get right into it. So, what's new in this Paladin WeakAuras update? What has changed? What can you expect? And are you going to like it? Well, that's up to you. But I'm here to talk about PvP talent, customization, all of the brand new stuff. So let's just get right into it, right? We're going to do a Retribution Paladin overview, and then we're going to move on to Holy and Protection, so you can see how is everything customizable, how are things reacting to different talents, combat, and all of that good stuff. So let's start up with my talent choices right now. First of all, it doesn't matter. I'm not here to show you how to play Red Paladin. This is not meant to be a guide. These are simply there to show you how do the WeakAuras interact with your different talent choices, so we can go on and start attacking the dummy right now. And as you can see right now, we're seeing Hammer of Wrath, Wake of Ashes, and Inquisition. The position of all of those talent choices is going to change based on what talent you pick. Everything else is pretty much static, so your interrupt, your utilities, major cooldown, and those three main generator for Paladin, which are going to be Crusader Strike, Judgment, and of course your Blade of Justice. You want those to stay there at all time. You're going to have your Holy Power, which hasn't moved from the previous version, and the Mana Bar, which I think is still a useful resources in PvP, and even when you need to huff heal a little bit, maybe in Mythic Plus and things like that, right? So if you change your talent, so let's drop combat real quick. Let's just pick Crusade, for example. Consecrate and Blade, right? So as you can see right now, Blade of Justice, it procs. So we got one of those Blade of Wrath procs, so it's glowing, letting me know how long do the active buff is staying. We're seeing Consecration. We're seeing also Crusade, which has moved here because there's nothing else to show right now. There's no other active or passive things that are worth showing in the main rotation group. So we're simply moving the main cooldown up there just to clean things up, have it be a little bit bigger maybe, so you guys can see it well. We're just trying to optimize space here. So if you go back to Hammer of Wrath, obviously it goes back to its original position because this is going to be something you're going to be interacting with a little bit more often, right? Of course, PvP talents are all implemented, so all of these are going to be tracked in the WeakAuras package. So you can just select it. It's going to show up most likely into the specific section, and you're going to be able to track all of that, right? So it's pretty straightforward. You're going to be able to customize those WeakAuras, right? So we're going to go at a quick glance over the WeakAuras for Retribution Paladin right now. If you select any of the group, right? So if you select, for example, the Paladin rotation group, you can see all of the cooldown. So all of your abilities that have cooldown or mechanics that you need to interact with are going to be in here. So if you need any of them to glow when it's off cooldown, or you want to have a special interaction with it, it's going to be right here. So as you can see, Inquisition right now is already selected because it's going to be one of those you apply buff and you don't want to let it fall off. You want to have it up as often as possible. So I ask it to glow by default, right? So I want it to glow. Let's say the Blade of Justice. I really want to make sure I don't miss that one. Simply check it, right? It's so easy. So you click rotation, you click custom option, and you customize your rotation like you want it to. So baseline, nothing rotational is going to be glowing, and you're going to be able to customize it just like you want it to. Of course, you can also interact with specifics, so you can see that Divine Purpose for Holy, your proc from your Azeroth trait is going to be in here, and the other copy of Inquisition if you decide to have different talent selection like I just showed you earlier. All of this is going to be here. You can make glow, interrupts, cooldown, all of that stuff. It's all in here. You can customize it just like you want it to. And, you know, if you don't want glow, you know what your rotation looks like. You don't want any help. Well, you just turn it off, right? You just go in here, you remove the checkbox, and you're good to go, right? So that's pretty straightforward. We're going to talk about really quickly about the clean mode. If you guys haven't seen this yet, if you go into the interrupt section, so you click on interrupt, you enable clean mode, you go into cooldown, you enable clean mode, and you go into utilities and you enable clean mode. So the right, the left side, and the bottom section can all have clean mode enabled. And what does that do is that they don't show up. So whenever they're not active and they are available, they will not show up, giving you this clean, minimalistic look that doesn't have like a lot of icons floating around. So some of you may like that, and you would like that to be active at all times. So, right, so if, for example, I use Blessing of Protection, you're going to see that it's currently active on me. So it's going to have the duration that's being tracked right there. And as soon as the cooldown is being shown, it's going to be right there. As soon as the abilities cooldown finish off, you're going to be able to see it disappear. So everything is going to remain clean. Obviously, this is not going to be on by default because it isn't for any of the other recent class change. So we're simply going to remove that to make sure we don't forget about it later on. But that's a cool, neat little customization option you got there, right? So right now, with all of my Weakauras package, what you can do is that they're all currently linked to the rotation part. So what you can do right now is if you want to move things around, right? So right now it's currently set at 0, 180, minus 180. So if I want to move this, I can simply move the group, release it, and everything followed along, right? If I open it back up again, I can reset it to minus 180 and 0, and everything is back where it belongs. If you want things to be moved without being anchored to the rotation group, what you can do is you can select them, go into group, go into anchor to, and select screen parent. That way it's going to unlink itself, and you're going to be able to move it just like you want it to, right? So you're going to be free of moving it anywhere you want. If you would like to scale things down, you can simply select the main group and adjust the group scaling. Or any of the group, you can adjust the group scaling. If you want everything to remain the same proportion and scale all the way down, then what you can do is select every group that is not the rotation group and simply check this box here. Set parent to anchor. So if I check it on every single group except the rotation, obviously, because it's the core part of the Weakauras. So if you select them all, as soon as I select rotation and I reduce the group scale, everything is going to scale down with it. So it's all gonna remain consistent, and you're gonna have that clean look that is gonna follow through everywhere you go. So this was a little overview of the customization and retribution. So we're now gonna move on to the next specialization, and you guys are gonna be able to see how it interacts. So we're now going to talk about holy specialization. So let's just get right into it. We're going to open up the talents right now. As you can see, it's a mess again. It's all over the place. This is not a guide. We're simply here to show you the interaction with the Holy Paladin. So you're going to see that we're tracking Bestow of Fate. You can also track Light Hammer. All of this is going to change right on the fly. And the main difference that you can see right now is everything is available outside of combat, right? This is a thing that I decided to do for every healer for my Weakauras package, since there's a lot of scenario. You're going to be healing people off cooldown. You want to see what your cooldown looks like outside of combat, right? So you want to be able to track all of that. Of course, that can be changed. We're going to talk about it into the customization section. So PvP talent, they're all going to work. So Divine Favor, of course, like all of the other section cooldown and interrupt section and everything, they're all going to be disabled by default outside of combat, which you can all customize, right? So we're going to check that out in a minute. So as you can see, as soon as I go in combat, everything lights up, and you can see that we still have those Crusader Strike Tracker and that Judgment Tracker there at the bottom. We still have the mana bar, and we do not have the casting bar. So this is an optional casting bar that you can download from a separate Weakauras package. So I've decided to remove the casting bar from every single Weakauras package that I have right now, and that's a question that I've received a lot. Why do I decide to do it? The reason is every single class has different mechanics, and everything's required different positioning. It was really, really hard for me to keep it being consistent, where you saw how the mana, at which level the mana was. Some people didn't like it. It was really hard to turn on or off the casting bar. So I simply decided to make an optional additional group that you can load and position it wherever you want, right? So right now I'm using it, and it's being positioned right there at the bottom. If you want, you can disable the default casting bar for World of Warcraft by using a little add-on called Hide Blizzard, which you toggle on by doing /hide_blizz. You open it up and you're going to be able to go into the player frame, enable it, unit frame, player cast bar. You simply remove it and you can use this nice looking Weakaura casting bar, right? So it's no longer integrated in the mana bar. A lot of different classes didn't have the resources or the location to put it. Druid, for example, had a lot of complex stuff going in there. It was really hard for me to keep the mana bar in there, so I simply decided to remove it. So you can load it separately right now. As you can see, everything is working fine there, so we're going to drop off combat. All of the PvP talents are going to be tracked, so Divine Favor is going to be tracked. All of these that are active and that you're able to track are going to be tracked for you. All the beacons, the different ones are going to be tracked. You're going to be able to see the duration of them on targets in your group. So, of course, if you're trying to put beacon on people that are not in your group, this is not going to be this is not going to allow you to track it. So it would be a little bit resources heavy because it's a little bit complicated to start tracking debuff on target nears you compared to target inside your own group. So all of these are going to be tracked. Just like the Druid's HOTS, all of these mechanics are going to be tracked only to player in your party. So whenever you're doing any type of content, Mythic Plus, raiding, arenas, battleground, the exception is going to be World PvP and all those things. It's going to track it on yourself, obviously, but not on everyone outside of that range. So that's pretty much it for Holy. There isn't much to talk about. Your talents are just going to change. The actual layout, of course, you're going to have Cleanse that's going to remain there at all time. You're going to have your Holy Shock and your Light of Dawn that are going to show there at all time. If you get a proc from your Infusion of Light, it's going to show you the duration, and it's going to show you that it's currently active with the cooldown integrated as well. So now you know that you can use your proc, and whenever you get it again, of course I didn't, you're going to be able to see the cooldown of Holy Shock so that you know how much time you got before you got to use that healing spell, and that's going to be nice, right? So that's pretty much it for the overview. We're going to go a little bit into the customization. So if you would like to have Holy Spell not show up outside of combat, you can select all of them into the rotational panel, right? You can select all of them and click in combat here in the load tab. So all I did is I opened up the Paladin rotation group, and I selected every aura by holding shift. Every aura, so from Infusion here to Cleanse. And I selected all of the Holy, and I went here, and I selected my load preferences. Right, so you can also click on the entire group and change it for all of them. So that's something that you can do. If you would like to not have Holy show up, because some people do not want to have Weakauras for healer, right? They don't want to show the Weakauras for healer. It's a little bit more complicated. There's no easy way to do it right now. If you touch with the talent specialization here while selecting a group, everything is going to start bugging out and you're going to have issues. So what you can do is manually select all of the ores that you don't want to see and select never. And then you can customize the rest and have it fit your need if you don't want to see a specialization being shown up in the Weakauras. Right, so that's pretty much it. The customization option are going to be the same, so you have access to all of these. You have access to clean mode, and you can customize when you want things to glow, so that's going to be pretty nice, right? So that's it for Holy. We're now going to move on to the last remaining specialization for Paladin, Protection Paladin. Let's finish off with a quick Protection Paladin overview, right? So we're going to open up the challenge tree, get in combat, and as you can see, not much has changed here. Your 5 core rotational ability are just going to show up here. It's going to be a little bit more clean. The stacks are more easily readable, and the information in general is more easily readable. It's also going to be customizable with the glow effect that you can add to any of these auras. All of your talent choices, which again, this is not a guide, so all of your talent choices, whichever they may be, are going to add cooldown specific interrupts or utility. Not much is going to change here. Of course, Crusader's Judgment is going to affect the number of stack and all of that good stuff. So all of that is going to be tracked. You're going to be able to see the GCD on every single ability that does trigger the GCD, and your shield is going to track the duration down there. So that's going to be clear insight. Your consecration is going to let you know when you're standing in it or not, so that you're able to see if you get that damage reduction. your taunt is going to be visible by this little line here at the bottom. So as soon as you see that line in your peripheral view, you know you can use that Hand of Reckoning, right? Everything is just going to add up new cooldowns. So Bastion of Light just going to show up here. Everything pretty straightforward. PvP talent, all of that stuff is working and ready to go for you. And of course, everything is customizable again. So if you select any group, you can go into the custom option, select anything you want, and it's going to glow for you whenever it is usable. So that's pretty neat. That's pretty nice. Paladin Protection doesn't have much to add up there. It's really, really straightforward. The information is just more clear and visible so that you can generate more threat and receive less damage, right? So that's it for the specialization for Paladin overview. So how do you install these Weakauras? Well, it's pretty straightforward. If you look down under the video in the description, you're going to find a link to my Weakauras. You're going to land on this page with how to install instruction, troubleshooting, and all of the 6 links that you need to get a clean, fresh installation. If you already own the previous Paladin Weakauras, we're going to move up into how to update them. All right, so how do you keep these Weakauras updated? Well, it's pretty straightforward. You're going to use something called Weakauras Companion. It's a small desktop software that you're going to be able to install, and it's going to show you all the update that you need to do for all of the Weakauras. So every time a little thing is being changed and updated, you're going to know why and when was it updated, and you're going to be able to fetch the update, go back into the game, and do the update yourself. It's pretty amazing. It's really, really something you should consider downloading if you want to keep all of your Weakauras updated. I have a guide, of course, on how to use this little piece of software. It's pretty straightforward. So there's going to be a link down below and even on the screen to that video so you can go watch that and have your Weakauras updated at all time. Thanks a lot for making it to the end of this video. I know this has been a long, rambling video. That's what I do. Whenever I update classes, Weakauras, I just ramble about them, show you all of the new shiny stuff. I should probably script these videos. But anyway, thank you for being here. Thank you for watching my content. I know I haven't been posting much content on YouTube lately. That's because I'm streaming on Twitch every single day. Except Saturday, I take a little day off. But every single day, I'm streaming on Twitch, playing World of Warcraft, doing Weakauras, and trying to provide as much content as possible for you guys. So if you want to say hello to me, there's a small link down below to my Twitch. If you can follow me up and hit me up whenever I go online, just come say hi. I would greatly, greatly appreciate it. I also answer questions about Weakauras, about World of Warcraft in general. I help troubleshoot people and all of that good stuff, right? So if you enjoy my content over here, make sure you check out my Twitch channel. But since you're already here, right, you can leave a little thumbs up down at the bottom. Maybe leave a comment. Let me know if you like the new Weakauras. And maybe subscribe to my channel. That's up to you, right? I'm gonna be making more content. I know I haven't done much lately, but I'm gonna be doing more content, not only for retail, but for Classic coming up. Because yes, we're gonna be making Weakauras for Classic. It's been requested a lot, and we're gonna make sure we start working on that as soon as the game launches with its official release, with the add-on for Weakaura officially releasing with its stable version. It's gonna be awesome, right? So, until next time, guys, good luck in both BFA and Classic.